Morning, 8D. I hope you've had a restful weekend and are keeping well. Firstly, I would like to shout out to the following people. These people for having really high scores on their memory tasks: Jeremiah, Thomas, Melissa. And these people for having really successful assignments last week: Kira and Ethan. Thank you for your hard work. The rest of you, I'm seeing some really good work. Please keep this up. One more week until we've got half term. Today what we are doing is going to be representing data in a pictogram and a bar chart. That's the work we're going to be doing this week. Pictogram has the word picture in it, and that's why we're going to be using pictures to represent data. So I'm just going to remind you of how to do that. Here we go. If we've got a question that looks like this: Atul asked some of his friends which sport they liked best. The table shows the results: the sport, football, rugby, cricket, swimming, and the number of friends: 16, 6, 11, and 8. The question says, draw a pictogram, so using a picture, draw a pictogram to represent this information. Use this picture to represent 4 friends. So we're going to use that picture to represent 4 friends. The way we do this is to have a title on our pictogram. I'm going to do it over here. A title on our pictogram, which could be favourite sports. And we are going to have the sport down the side. So it was football, rugby, cricket, swimming, and we are going to separate that with a line using our ruler to now draw the picture that represents it. So for football, I've got 16 friends, and if this represents 4, I know I can draw it to represent 4, draw it again to represent 8, that's another 4, draw it again to represent another 4, that's 12, draw it again to represent another 4, that takes me to 16. Okay, rugby was 6, so I'm going to draw it to represent 4. Now I need another 2, so I'm only going to draw another 2 little sections, or half of the circle, because if that's 4 and I need another 2, I'm going to draw half of it. Cricket is 11, so I'm going to draw a full one to represent 4, another full one to represent 8, and then how many more do I need? I need another 3, so I'm going to draw another 2 and then an extra 1 section, so that's my 3. So altogether that's 11, and swimming is 8, so I know that's easy, it's just a 4 and a 4. That's how I can draw a pictogram using the picture that I've been told. Sometimes we have to use a pictogram to answer questions. So here's my pictogram that's already been drawn for me, and I need to use it to answer some questions. The key here is really important. So on my drawing, I would lose a mark if I didn't write the key. So I'm going to do a key here. Key, a circle with 4 sections equals 4 people. That's how I get my final mark, to write the key. So when they've been done already, the key is already there. The pictogram shows the number of emails sent from an office in 1 week. In my key, 1 envelope represents 20 emails. On which day were the greatest number of emails sent from the office? So I can look which one has the most envelopes in its line. Thursday has the most envelopes. So on which day? The answer would be Thursday. How many emails were sent from the office on Thursday? if one envelope represents 20 emails, I know that's going to be 20 emails, 40, 60, 80, 100 emails. How many emails were sent from the office on Monday? 20, 40, 60, 80 emails. How many emails were sent from the office on Tuesday? So I've got 20, 40, 60, because it goes up in 20s each time. And then I've got half an envelope here. So if I think about my key, half an envelope is going to represent 10 emails. So I've got 20, 40, 60 plus another 10, 70 emails. So that's how you're going to use a pictogram to work out some data. So that's going to be your worksheet tomorrow on pictograms. On Wednesday, you're going to be looking at bar charts. Now, a bar chart is a way to represent data. We need to have a title. We need to have the data we're measuring along the x-axis. And we need to have the frequency, the number of people or number of bits of data going up the y-axis. So when you're drawing a bar chart, can you make sure that you've got your title? Can you make sure you've got your axis labelled and your frequency going up the y-axis? Say if I had this data given to me, eye colour, brown, hazel and blue, green and the frequency. I could use that to draw a bar chart. Let's do that all together, and I'm going to use a pencil and a ruler. So firstly, we need to make sure we've got a title of our bar chart. So our title is going to be eye colour. And I need my frequency going down the y-axis and my data that I'm collecting going along the x-axis. So I can relabel it here. And frequency. So for my brown eyes, I want to use a bar that can be the same width going all the way down. So if I use 2 squares for brown, I need to do 2 squares for hazel. I need to do 2 squares for blue and 2 squares for green. You can pick to use 1 square or 2 squares. My frequency, I can see, is going to have to go all the way up to 15. So what I could do is I could go up in 2s. That's 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So I just need to make my y-axis go up a little bit taller, and then I can get all the way to 15 in there. So now I draw my bar with my ruler. My brown bar is going to go up to 15. So I'm going to use my ruler and go all the way between 14 and 16. All the way between 14 and 16, and that gets me to 15. My bars have to be exactly the same width, so I'm now going to make sure it's 2 squares wide. Goes up to 8 for hazel. Goes up to 8. My blue goes up to 12, so if you want, you can look where 12 is and just do a dot so you know where you're going up to. So blue is going up to 12. Blue is going up to 12. And green is going up to 5. And I know for 5 it's going to be in the middle of 4 and 6. So I can just put a dot there so I know where I'm going up to. In the middle of 4 and 6. There we go. So that's how I've drawn a bar chart. Key things to remember. Have you labelled your axes? Is there a title? Are your bars the same width? have you labelled everything? Now you can use your bar chart to find information. The question could ask, how many students had brown eyes? So imagine I had my bar chart there already. I could see that there are 15 students that have brown eyes. It could ask me, what is the least common colour for eyes? The least common colour is going to be the shortest bar. So my least common colour is green eyes. And I can use my bar chart to interpret data. That's what you're going to be doing on Wednesday and Thursday. Please make sure when you're doing this, you've got a pencil and a ruler. And if you need any more support, please look on Hegarty and type in bar charts to the search button, and it will find your Hegarty's on bar charts. You could do some extra quizzes on that if you want to. Any questions at all, please email them over. But I look forward to seeing your pictograms and your bar charts and to see how well you've interpreted those. On your assignments, make sure you press edit in Word online so that I can see what you've typed and I can see your answers. Have a lovely week. Please now copy down the examples into your book and have a great week. Bye.